Here we go. We have the last two remaining teams, the best in the East, the best in the West, ready to battle in the final basketball series of the 2023-24 NBA season. As those two best teams, first, in the East, we have the Boston Celtics. This comes as no surprise. Boston was the best team in the East during the whole regular season. I predicted Boston would win every series on their way to the NBA Finals, and they did. And yes, sure, you can sort of look at their whole playoff trip and say that they faced an injured Miami Heat team, an injured Cleveland Cavaliers team, and an injured Pacers team, but at the end of the day, the Celtics themselves were without Porzingis, and even though the series could have been harder, longer, if every player was available for every team, I still think Boston is the one who deserved to go to the finals from the East. Now, Dallas was a bit of a surprise to me. You see, I knew Dallas was a good team, but I guess while following Lakers and other West storylines, I completely ignored how elite they've become. I had Dallas winning their first round series against the Clippers in 6 games, and I was totally right. I had them winning against the OKC, and I was totally right. But after seeing how well Minnesota looked at times against the defending champions, the Denver Nuggets, I guess I was in that awe moment and couldn't really appreciate how Dallas has coexisted and performed throughout the whole playoffs. I thought Minnesota will take the series, but in the end, Dallas did, and did it quite easily. Honestly, Minnesota was lucky it wasn't a sweep. So here we are then. We have our NBA Finals, our last bit of NBA basketball before a longer summer/autumn break. So what should we expect? First, we can throw the rest argument out of the window. Series starts on June 6th, if I'm not mistaken, and Boston swept the Pacers. Dallas gentlemen swept the Timberwolves yesterday. Both teams will have plenty of time to rest and recuperate. I'll also won't really take into account that teams met 2 times during the regular season and Boston won them both. Porzingis didn't play in one of the games and Gafford and Washington weren't as big parts of the Mavericks as they are now. From injury perspective, it's been more than a month since Porzingis last played for the Celtics. Back when Celtics and Pacers were still playing, it was said that Porzingis could return as soon as Game 4. He obviously didn't, and Boston didn't need him to. Now they got like an extra week for his injury to heal. While his status is still unclear, I think as we're getting closer to the actual start of the NBA Finals, we'll get an official update that Porzingis is ready to go. I think Game 1, but at the latest I would bet it would be like a Game 3 type of thing. On Dallas' side, Maxi Kleber already returned from a shoulder injury in a limited fashion, but returned. And Derek Lively, after that nasty neck injury, he also returned for Game 5. Now they get that extra week of rest, so I think injury-wise we should be all good on both teams. This also should be a cool series from a backcourt matchup perspective. Kyrie and Luka possess one hell of an offensive backcourt, quite possibly one of the more potent backcourts in NBA history. Boston is no slouch either. They have 2, I'll say, almost all-stars in Derek White and Jrue Holiday, but they're both all defensive team members. So this will be a very interesting matchup. And I don't obviously expect the Celtics backcourt to completely stop Luka and Kyrie, but how well they can limit them will be very crucial to the series. And I already touched on injury status a bit, but Celtics will need Porzingis for this series. Those lobs in Dallas, it seems like I'm reliving my youth watching Lob City Clippers. Okay, maybe not to that extent, but you get the point. The Celtics need another big body in the paint for protection, and Porzingis is one of the best at it. You can't count on almost 40-year-old Al Horford to provide same type of defense and protection. And it also deepens Boston's rotation, so all good when Porzingis returns. But Dallas got so good after midseason trades, it's crazy. It's crazy. And this series will also be the series of returns. Porzingis returns to Dallas and Irving returns to Boston. Who takes who? Obviously they won't guard each other, but it's still an interesting fact that everyone likes to mention. Who shows up and sort of sticks it to their old team? Boston, I think, has more weapons offensively, But I like the Irving-Luka duo more than I like Tatum-Brown one. I think Luka and Kyrie have more of a rhythm, that soothing presence. Both duos are fantastic, but sometimes with the Celtics, I get the feeling that they go for too much ISO at times, and that's why they've lost some games that they should have won. And Tatum, I don't know. I just expect him to take another leap, but he hasn't. He sort of has stayed in that second tier superstar level, so to speak. And for me, and just for me, I actually think Dallas has the two best players in this series. By a small margin, but they do. If this was an NBA Finals draft, I'd take Luka first, Kyrie second, and only then Tatum and Brown. So the superstar power goes to the Mavericks. But as a team, I do like Boston more. I think they have more guys that can really contribute at any time. Yes, watching PJ Washington perform has been fun. Derek Lively has been fun. Daniel Gafford has been an awesome addition. But all those players, while they look good on Mavericks right now and in the series against Minnesota, they are sort of replaceable more easily than the ones on Boston. I think every team would want players like Drew Holiday and Derek White. Just pure hustle, energy, defense, championship material stuff. Porzingis, a 7'2" big man who can shoot, post up, block, defend. Al Horford, the wily veteran who just contributed when needed and hits a three. So all around, if Dallas has the two best players in the series, I would say that of the top 11 players, Boston has 7 of them. And again, that's why this will be such a cool series. The Mavericks have been good, but you kind of want to say that Boston wins. They just have a better team. But then again, Mavericks are meshing really well right now. But I'll pick Boston in 7 for this one. The clutch factor, the superstars, it goes to Dallas. All-around team, defense, goes to the Celtics. And I'll say that Boston completes their run and Tatum and Brown finally, after making finals again, get this done. But what do you think, guys? Are you hyped for this series? Who wins? In how many games? Who's the MVP of the finals? Who disappoints? Whatever your thought is, please leave your comment down below. Don't forget to like the video, share it with others, and of course, watch some more NBA basketball while it's still here. Thank you very much for watching. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.